gardeners, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about 10 ways that you can improve your reptile room, whether it's aesthetically or just functionally. So hopefully these will be some helpful tips. I get a lot of questions on my reptile room and how I make it look good and things like that, so I figured this would be a fun video. My first tip when it comes to setting up a reptile room, I know not everyone just has one designated entire room that they can use for a reptile room, but usually, like, even if you just have it in your living room or wherever you have your enclosures, I think that something that really helped and brought my reptile room to the next level was just having front opening, stackable, matching enclosures. Aesthetically, it looks so much better than having random tanks set up on some type of storage unit, which is what I used to have. And I was looking at like old pictures of my reptile room when I first moved here, and it looked so empty in here and white from the walls, and the tanks didn't look very good. And it's just a world of difference when I switched over to Zen habitats, and I realized that I was actually able to keep more animals and give them all way more space because the enclosures are so much bigger, but then I could also stack them and utilize all of the height in the room rather than just like spreading everything out as much as I can. So that really brought my reptile room to the next level, and it just established from there. So as I mentioned, Zen Habitats, I'm actually wearing a Zen Habitat shirt today too. So Zen Habitats is my favorite reptile enclosure company. I do work for them as well, so I know like the inside scoop on everything and I see how they do everything. So yeah, I highly recommend Zen Habitats if you are looking to upgrade your enclosures or just have them be lightweight and stackable with front opening doors, because that is such a game changer. I used to have tanks on racks and it was super annoying. You'd have to like pull the tank out, pull the lid off. The animals were stressed out because you're going in from the top, and they're heavy. Tanks are so heavy. These enclosures are really big, but they're lightweight. So if you have like one other person help you move them, it's so much easier than a tank, and it offers more space. So there's just like so many positives out of it. And then speaking aesthetically, Zen Habitats in particular, they have many different options now. They used to just have the bamboo print enclosures, which is what I have for all of mine, but they now offer black enclosures, which I know a lot of people are super excited about. They also offer oak print now, which is like a dark wood, and it looks so good. I feel like if I didn't have bamboo, I would probably go with the oak. I think that aesthetically it just looks amazing. But yeah, there are different options that you can have. But yeah, that is my number one tip. If you guys are interested in Zen Habitats, my affiliate link is in my description, so definitely check them out. And I do make some commissions, so I really appreciate it when you guys use my affiliate link. Number two is storage. So this is something I didn't realize was so important when it comes to the reptile room, because as reptile keepers, we have a lot of tools and things that we need to take care of our animals, like calcium and ReptiSafe and the tongs and a mister and even bugs. Like, there are so many different like tools and things that you need when taking care of these animals, but they don't necessarily look good on display. So something that I discovered that I tried out that I absolutely love is using storage, and Zen Habitats also offers storage. So I use the cabinet stand as well as the deluxe stacking spacer. These are typically used for like if you're stacking up enclosures and you want to keep the light concealed while stacking on top of it. The deluxe stacking spacer does that, and that's what I do for above my blue tongue skink. It contains his lighting, and then I can stack on top of that and put Chip, my crested gecko. But then I also have so much crap in there. I keep other things too, because like I live in Chicago, I don't have a lot of storage space, so I have a lot of random items, and I keep like photo albums, reptile tools, and just random stuff in that deluxe stacking spacer. I have another one under Bowie that has like substrate and supplements, extra lighting, extra fixtures. little feeding tanks. Like, I have so much crammed in there, and then you just close the door, it looks like there's nothing there, and it's all perfectly concealed, and it just looks so good. So that is very helpful, and I feel like that also will bring your reptile room to the next level, just to add storage that matches everything aesthetically, and then you can hide everything that you don't want everyone to see, and then everything just looks really, really pretty on display. 3 would be live plants. This is something that I just personally love in my house. No matter what, like, any room will be improved by adding live plants to it. So of course it's the same for my reptile room. I actually have these really fun little clips. If you have pothos and it's growing vines and getting really, really long, it's really cool to get these little clips, and you can like pin them up around. I have them around my reptile room door, so it looks like a cool little fairy entrance when you're coming in. That is like one of my favorite features of the reptile room. But pothos is like one of the easiest plants to take care of. Also monstera, I've had this, I think this is my first monstera I ever got, and it has been in here for years, and it's also very easy to take care of and perfect for beginners. So yeah, snake plants are also super easy. Highly recommend snake plants. I also like Dracana. But yeah, there are so many different options, and adding a little bit of green here and there, even like on top of your enclosures as well as inside of them, I feel like it just really makes everything stand out and look really good. And it's perfect for a reptile room because animals like these love plants, and even when I take mine out, they're all interested in the plants that I have around the room, and they're all trying to sniff them. So yeah, I think that adding plants is very beneficial to the animals' enrichment when you're taking them out, and it also just looks way better in your reptile room. It does depend on your style, but I feel like most people that like reptiles will also like plants, so why not add some plants in your room? Number 4 is like very random and like not something you need, but if you're like looking for fun ways to decorate your reptile room, I would recommend like reptile art and collectibles. I am a Taurus, and I love little trinkets and collecting things. It's just what I do. I'd like to collect all of my little treasures. And so, of course, my reptile room has a lot of them. I have a lot of turtle figurines. I have a turtle skeleton, little butterflies, crystals, just random little things all around the room. And then, of course, the art. I have gotten some art from friends and even from you guys. I've gotten some fan art, which is just crazy, but I've gotten some of the cutest art from people, and then I've gotten some from just artists that I admire, that I see online that have reptile art that I love. So it's really fun being able to add all of those different things into your reptile room, just to add a little bit more personality and character to it. So yeah, it's not something you need, but it's something that I think is cute, and it adds something to the reptile room. Number 5 is like very obvious, but enriching your own enclosures for your reptiles will also just make your whole reptile room look better. The worst thing is when you see a reptile room and you just see empty enclosures and like empty tanks. It's very depressing. So the more you can fill out those enclosures and add plants and enrichment and things to climb on, not only will your animals utilize and fully enjoy it, but it will overall make your reptile room look so much better. Another thing that really helps is adding naturalistic backgrounds. Otherwise, I hate seeing like a bare back of an enclosure. It just, it bores me, and it's just, I want more. So making naturalistic backgrounds, even if you're not making your own, you can just like try and like put different things to cover up. I just don't like seeing blank walls ever. So yeah, that's something that will also help, because when you're looking at everything, if you see all these different like landscapes on the background and everything, it just makes it look so much better. Number 6 is a misting system. So this is something that could be very helpful for functionality. I actually have the Mist King, which is like the #1 recommended mister, and I never set it up because I know it's going to require a lot of it's going to need some space for like a tank to hold the water that I don't have. And with how I have everyone set up in this room, it's kind of like mixed up and jumbled, and I just don't think that functionality wise it's going to work. So I'm saving it, like if I move, if I try to like set everything up in a way that I know it could work, then I'll use it. But for me, I actually like just misting my own enclosures. It's a time for me to check in on all of the animals every morning and every night, which I think is very important, and it like forces me to do that. So yeah, some people, I mean, it's perfect if you travel a lot or you're busy or you work a lot, so that way you don't have to worry about it if you have a mist system. But for someone like me who's always home, it's like not very necessary, and I rarely travel. And then the next one is very similar. Number 7 is having a light timer. So this will turn your lights on for you and off for you, and that can be very helpful. You don't have to deal with it, but again, it's another one of those things where it's just like part of my routine, and I like doing it because I want to check in on my animals and see how they're all doing. So it really depends, but it can make functionality much easier and smoother if you just have everything done for you on timers. So it could be a positive for someone, so I figured I would mention them. Number 8 is kind of random. Like I put a hangout area, and this could be for you or it could be for your animal. So if this is for you, I actually have like a little beanbag chair that I set up, and I love reading in the reptile room because the lighting is always so good in here. So that's something that I like, and it's my little hangout area. I can see the animals, I can take Peaches out, let her eat some snacks while I'm reading. I love doing that and watching Chacho just like lay down next to her as she's munching on something, or maybe have Willie climb out on me as I'm reading. Like, that is something that I enjoy, that I think it can help bring some enjoyment for you and your reptiles to have like a little seating area if you have the room just to hang out with them. Or you could have a hangout area for the reptiles specifically. I have seen people that keep chameleons, they like build like vines and trees and things for their chameleons to hang out on during the day, which I think is so cool, but I don't think that's something that I could do in this room. It's already pretty crowded. Or you could just have like a certain plant or tree or something for your reptiles to all hang out on to get some enrichment when you want to just observe them and get them out of their enclosure. So a hangout area could be really good and beneficial for your reptile, or just for you to enjoy your animals. Number 9, I feel like it's kind of already included with like the trinkets and collectibles, but it's crystals. I am obsessed with crystals. I love collecting them, and they each have a different energy, so I feel like it's good to bring some good and positive energy into your reptile room. They are living beings as well. We all emit energy and absorb it, so it's something that I think can be beneficial for the vibe of your room and for your animals, and it will also make it look good because crystals are stunning and a work of art, so it's something that will definitely make your room look better if you just have crystals around. And then the very last thing is something that I get questioned about like all of the time, and that is labeling your enclosures. So this, I think, makes it look really organized, and it just looks really, really good. The labels that I get are from Cloud Forest Design. So I highly recommend checking that out. He has so many different species. If you have one that he doesn't have, he's really cool about like making a new one for you. He's done that for me before. And yeah, they're really, really good. They have like a little picture of the animal, they have the scientific name, they have a little bit of information on the geography and about the animal. So it just looks like you have your own little zoo when you have the labels. And I feel like if you have people visiting that are not familiar with reptiles, it really helps them out, because they might be kind of fearful, like what is in all of these enclosures. So if they see labels of everything, it might put them at ease a little bit more, because they're like, okay, that's a snake, that's a lizard, they can see a picture of it. And I just think it looks really good presentation wise. So aesthetically, having matching enclosures and the matching labels and everything, it just looks really, really good overall, and it's very satisfying. It's my favorite thing after setting up an enclosure, is putting the label on last. It is the finishing touch, the cherry on top of the cake, and I love it. So yeah, those are my tips and recommendations for improving your reptile room. If you guys know any others, please go ahead and leave it in the comment section. I would love to see what your ideas are. And I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.